when we had Rocco when he was younger, we took him to New York. Millions of people. He was on the subway, buses, boom, everything. And he only went off on 2 people. We had a couple of old fashions one night, was walking around. It's probably 12:30, whatever. And this homeless dude walked by us and we saw him. We're not paying attention to him, but like we saw him. He did something that Rocco didn't like. Rocco growled, did a little 180 spin, looked right at him. I just turned around and said, hey, whatever you just did, don't do that no more. And we just walked off. I don't know what the guy did. Rocco felt something on him, and I trusted that. I'm like, hey, if he's acting like this, there's something wrong with this particular person. So I trust someone who doesn't like a human before I trust a human who doesn't like a dog.
Welcome to NWA Cane Corsos podcast, where we talk all things dogs.
Welcome back to the show. I am your host, Joe, a.k.a. Won't He Do It, a.k.a. the biggest student in the game. Today, y'all, we got the man in the house, Stan. What's happening, brother?
What up, man? How are you?
Man, in it to win it as always. I'm glad to have you here.
Oh, man, it's been a day.
Oh, man. Yeah, I just got back from a dog show. I'm a little wore out, but,
obedience lessons got me a 4-mile run in.
Yeah.
Another day in the life.
Yeah. Hey, we got to do it. Okay. Ain't nobody going to do it for us. That's for sure. Man.
Then money trucks don't come to front doors.
That's right. For sure. Iron Sharp K9. What's the meaning behind that name?
Well, so Proverbs 27:17, I think it is, says iron sharpens iron. As one man sharpens another. And that's one thing that when I started like on my own, I kept saying it a lot. And then Trevs does a lot of marketing stuff. He said, why don't you just call it Iron Sharp Canine? You're always saying it in every video. You saying it in everything. So it just kind of stuck. So
yeah.
Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah. It's almost like a core value. And we all should have some kind of core values in anything we do. Yeah.
That's always just been me. I've always wanted to help other people, share experiences that I have. If I can assist them, that's just been me since a child. Mm-hmm. So now that I got my own business, that's what all we're doing is we're making handlers and owners of dogs sharper.
Yeah. I was watching something. I don't know if it was a clip just ran across my timeline or something like that, man. But it was like, known to be a pretty humble guy. You're not a really big fan of the camera.
I hate it.
Really?
I don't like it. I mean, but when the lights are on, it's time to perform. And I've tried to be behind the camera and put other people on there, and it just hadn't been as successful. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just do what I got to do. And I enjoy it a lot more now than when we first started, for sure, because the message does need to get out. I need to share my experiences, things that I've been through in the dog world, even in life. There's people that benefit from it. So I got to get away from not wanting to talk, not wanting to share my experiences, and being a little less humble sometimes about the stuff that we've done.
Yeah. I've been, I'm similar to you. I'm not an internet guy. What you got right there? Oh, you got a kitty cat.
That's my cat, man.
Oh, okay, cool.
Lido.
Yeah. You got another dog too. You got a Dalmatian and you got some kind of other dog. I got some. Oh yeah.
Hey,
what's his name? Somebody. See, I got people ask him this, Joe. Like I got a group and I tell them, man, I'm gonna interview this person. They send me in questions and things like that. So what's that shepherd name you got?
Yeah, Boo. He's right here. So,
okay, cool.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the man right there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's
He's
up.
the homie now. And then Rocco's in the house. He old.
Yeah. Well, that's a smart dog, boy.
Man, I like him. He's been fun. He wants to work. He's always ready to go.
Let me ask you this: what's the toughest or the most difficult breeds you have dealt with?
German short hair pointer.
Really?
Yep, without thinking about it. I've worked a lot of dogs, and I had two of them. I had an adult and a puppy. They acted exactly like they smart, but they don't want to work unless they want to, and they're pretty stubborn dogs, so they'll take a correction. And it's just like, you know what? I do not care. I don't want to do this. But when they want to perform, oh, they're amazing. Like, dog jumps in the pool, does everything, but you're like, hey, come here, let's do a recall. He's like, nah, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
German short hairs are on the bottom of my list of dogs that I want to train.
Right. Yeah. So also, I don't know when you're if you even call it a breakthrough or the moment that put you on another level, because you are on another level, bro. You did this dog training show or something like that. What was the name of that show?
America's Top Dog.
America's Top Dog. Yeah. How was that experience?
Man, it was very interesting. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but it was everything that I could have imagined it being at the same time. It was a fun showcase with my dog. We were only training for about 3 years at the time, and I'm going in there a rookie. Everybody's 15-year veteran and had 5-6 dogs and police officers and this. And we just wanted to have some fun with my dog. And that's what got me into the dog world. Is I always wanted to have fun. And Rocco was a dog who he enjoyed working. He enjoyed competition. And he's like me in a dog form. I tore my meniscus in college, so I couldn't compete how I wanted to. And he's done everything in his power to be a good dog. But it was really cool, man. The people that we met out there, we've met some of my good friends. I don't call a lot of people friends, but a buddy of mine down in Florida, I met him on there. And we were actually, when we failed on the drug detection part where Rocco didn't find nothing, I was sad. I was hard on myself. I'm like, man, we just failed on national TV. And he could tell I was bummed. He just looked over and he was like, hey, don't be too hard on yourself. The dog was working for you. You just know what you were doing. So I was like, oh, that's easy. I can go put in some more work. Let's go. And ever since then, it's just been like, if you're not good at the very first time, you just got to work. You got to work. And with these dogs, you got to take your time, show them what you want. You build that bond and they'll try for you. But you as a handler have to make sure you're putting them in the best situations to be successful as well.
Did that show, is it something, one thing that you always take away from it, being under those kind of lights?
Man, I've grown up playing sports my whole life, so it's not.
What kind of sports?
I was basketball and track mainly, but
Okay.
we played street football and everything like that. But my main things was basketball and track. I went to college for track, and when it's time to go, it's just time to go.
Yeah,
and I'm competitive. It's like, hey, you're not gonna beat me to the line. If you are 100 meters ahead, okay, that's it. But if we have the same 100 meters we going, I'm going to give everything that I got. So when we were on that platform, it wasn't anything new for me to be on one of the biggest stages. And it's like the stage doesn't matter because it's just me and my dog. And the crowd, the lights, the cheering, like none of that mattered. It was just me and my dog. We just had to keep going through one exercise. And I didn't really think about the platform until after the fact when, we were on ESPN. I had somebody send me a message. We saw you on ESPN. I said, bro, what are you talking about? Why are you lying? He said, no, go to this page. You are on ESPN. They're showing your highlight from America's Top Dog on ESPN. You were on TMZ. And I'm like, oh, this is a big deal.
Right.
But it was just fun. I just went out there and played with my dog. I wish we could have done a little bit better on the drug detection part because we would have won the obstacles for, everybody knows that. But that detection part kicked our butt.
Yeah. Man, it's funny, like you saying stuff like about playing sports and different things like that. And I just remember like being a child, my dad used to make me do some goofy stuff, right? He was kind of like, he was a preacher and he's like kind of hood. He still had some hood ways. He was a street guy.
Yeah.
But
it ain't all gonna get out of there. Just
so like I know when we was younger, like he was building this church and he made us take piano lessons. And I didn't think I knew what he was doing last. I said, dang, he was molding us to be musicians for the church. And so I took all this classical music, and I was the only boy. I used to hate it, but I think that kind of like swallowed up any kind of embarrassment or being afraid to perform in front of crowds. I never. When it's time to perform, I can get out there and do it. I'm like you. I can lock in. You know what I'm saying? It's many people that can probably do podcasting better, talk better. I don't know about look better, but talk better. But they can, I mean, better than me. But it's just something about if you just go do it, you can really get better at doing something, and nothing else matters. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right. And that's it. Like when we're out on the field, when we're going through the course, I'm not hearing the crowd. I'm not hearing the announcers. None of that. It's just me and my dog. It's very quiet. It's kind of eerie actually, because after you go and watch the video back, you're like, damn, that was loud as hell. Like, but nope, it's just me and my dog. And I think once people get out of their own way, because you get in your head, oh, I can't do this and blah, blah. It's like, look, we've been training, and now isn't the time to be worried about did we put in the work, because we know we put in the time, we put in the effort, and now it's just time to showcase everything that you're doing. And one of the quotes is like, you're never going to rise to the level of the occasion. You're going to fall back on their level of training. So we always try to train at a very high level. We always try to push ourselves past our limit, past our dog's limit. So when we are in a controlled setting and in a controlled environment, it's really easy. Like Rocco going in and out of the car windows on that show, he was doing that since I had him. I just thought it was cool that he would jump through my car window. So that was just how he got into the Tahoe. Right. I closed the door and he had to jump through there. So when we're jumping through sedans and everything like that, this is easy because we train at this level up here. And it's the same thing with this dog here. I push him so hard when we go and compete. He's like, oh, this is very, very easy. All I got to do is jump on a 3-foot platform. I'm used to jumping on 10. Like,
right. So I never did ask, how did you get your start? When did things turn serious in training for dogs and things like that? What was that development like for you?
So when I was in college, I had my dog run out of my front door, had no recall, had no training, no nothing. I didn't know nothing about dogs then. And he ended up getting hit by a car. Oh, damn, sorry. So the next dog I got, I was like, man, I got to do something, man. I can't just lose my dog again. And I started looking up training, and, you know, the PetSmart stuff pops up, but it never worked with my schedule. And I found protection work. I found protection dogs, and I said, oh, this is cool. This is right up my alley. This is sports. This is competition. This is, oh, yeah, I like this. Yeah. I found a trainer who was doing that, and I just fell in love with it. And one thing about me, I kind of got an addictive personality. When I like something, I like it, and I just go all in. So every free minute that I had, I started being out at the kennel, started learning a little bit. And then the decoy who was there before I was, go on now, you're making me hot. The decoy that was there before I was, he ended up leaving. So they were like, hey, do you want to learn how to actually decoy and work dogs? Right. And that was the end of the story after that. Once I got that one opportunity, it was easy after that.
Right, cool. And you from Texas? You from Cleveland, Texas?
I'm from Fort Worth, Texas, but I live in Cleburne now. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Got 5 acres out here. It's out the city limit, so I don't got to worry about them worried about my dogs if we're shooting blank guns, fireworks, all that kind of stuff. So
gotcha.
I'm in the city, but I guess you can call me from Fort Worth.
Okay, cool. Now, so you did some training or had some kind of connection with Butch Capel at one point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What was that experience? Rest up, Butch. What was that connection like, meeting him and trading with him?
Well, it was an interesting experience of my life. Like you said, you know, condolences to the family, all that, you know, good stuff. Make sure. But I mean, he taught me a lot, but he didn't teach me at the same time. Like, I don't think he thought I was going to be as good as I was. I think he thought I was just going to be somebody who came through like a lot of other people did, and they would stick around for a little while and then leave. No, I soaked up everything. I asked questions. I was there every single day. Like, I started doing more and more and more. And then I think he actually got a little intimidated because I didn't need him for a lot of stuff, because I'm somebody who can put 2 and 2 together. I don't have to go through the school or whatever. If I see somebody do it, I'm like, oh, I can do that too. Like, I'm athletic enough to figure it out. It may not be the way that they learned. It may not be the way that they think it should be, but we're still doing the same thing. Right. And I was there for about 5 years, and it just got to the point where I think I really just outgrew being there.
Oh yeah.
And we had, a couple of disagreements about some stuff, about some dogs and things like that.
Mhm.
And one of the best things I think that happened to me is I left there.
Yeah.
Because when I was there, I capped myself. I didn't want to outshine, like they say, the 48 laws of power, don't outshine
The master. Yeah. Uh-huh.
so it's like I would always limit myself, and I think that was hurting me because I knew I was good, but I would always second guess how good I should be.
Mhm.
So it was a good experience. It was a bad experience. I appreciate the experience because if I didn't have it, I probably wouldn't be where I am in the dog world right now. But I learned a lot out there, and we learned with dogs that shouldn't have done it. Like, he didn't say no to dogs. If somebody wanted to train a dog, he brought him in there, and I'm like, I don't think this dog can do it. And he's like, well, figure it out. All right, fuck it, let's do it then. So
Yeah.
we got some dogs that shouldn't have been as good as they are to be good, and it's honestly helped me now because we work with off breeds. I get dogs that, have you ever seen an Australian Shepherd do half the things that Buddha's doing?
Right.
I
Right.
learned those, I learned the stuff that I can do with the off breeds while going out there.
Right.
A little unorthodox sometimes, but we're getting things done. And then when you get a Mal or a Shepherd, then everything's really easy at that point.
Right. Right. Man, thank you just for that segment right there, bro, because that was an honest review, and that's life.
Yeah.
We develop, we grow, we we don't always finish who we start with. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, and then it sucks because I thought of him like he was like my mentor. I looked up to him, and then it just got to the point where I was like, damn, he doesn't have that same respect for me that I have for him. And that's when we really started butting heads because people would come out and I would ask questions. I said, hey, I don't know what to do with this dog. What do you think I should do? And he would tell me. I'd go do it. They would be upset with me about what I said to him, and they would go say something to him, and then he didn't have my back.
Right.
So, oh man, I don't like this.
Yeah. Uncomfortable situation.
Yeah.
So we know you got the protection dog thing. That's it, man. Your videos are nice, clear, understanding, fun. I hired a trainer to come out here to work with me 2 or 3 days. Guy was fun, Mr. John Mims. I appreciate him. It was fun, man, and engaging, but it was some seriousness involved too. In today's society, are you seeing an uptick on people or families per se wanting personal protection dogs, or is that still kind of a niche thing for us?
It's kind of still a niche, but I think it is getting more accepted because I think people are actually starting to talk about what goes on in protection work. Before it was more of a hidden society. You didn't share videos. Nobody really knew what goes on. And some of the techniques that people were using to get the dogs to go were a little, harsh.
Yeah.
And there's a time and a place for those harsh things, but like every dog doesn't need to start that way. And I think it's getting a little bit more accepted by regular people because they're getting to see more stuff nowadays. I get comments, oh, you're making that dog aggressive. Why are you making that dog mean? I'm not making the dog mean at all. Like, Boot is a dog who there's a cat right here and he's hanging out with the cat. I can take him to an elementary school and he goes and plays with 100+ kids, but he can also go and do some police dog competitions and win, not just compete. He's winning these events. So it's like, I'm not making a dog mean or aggressive. I'm making him competitive. And if I tell him that he needs to go and do something, if I tell him he needs to go and work and bite this person, he's going to go and do it. But at the same time, I'm not worried about him biting a child, anything like that.
Explain to the general public what making a dog civil means.
So that means no equipment. They're going to be paying attention to the man, not just going out because there's a sleeve or a suit or a rag or anything like that. When you give that alert command to the dog and you tell them, hey, it's time to turn on, it's time to turn on. And some dogs get equipment oriented where they only work if they see a sleeve or they only work in this particular setting. And that's that's dangerous. And I hope I never have to actually send my dog on somebody in a real situation, because that means I may not go home to my family. But if I do, I don't want them to be like, well, he didn't have a sleeve on, I don't know what to do. I want that dog going forward.
Right. So I have a lot of topics on my show, and this is one I want to ask you because of something you just said. Now, a personal protection dog, if you have company over, should you have to put it up, or should it be able to stay out?
No, you should. Okay, say you have this personal protection dog. People come over. You put your dog up. They wait till you put your dog up. Now they try to rob you.
Yeah.
Your dog's put up. It can't get out. Can't do its job. So no, if you have a personal protection dog, it should be a dog that you can take any and everywhere, and they can be comfortable in those environments. And that means you have to teach the dog to settle. And people come out all the time, oh, I got this, but my dog can be a protection dog. He barks at everybody and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, that's not a good dog, because if your dog is barking at everybody, who's a threat? Is everybody a threat? Everybody you meet isn't trying to rob you, So it's like, I don't want my dog basically being the boy who cried wolf all of the time. If my dogs bark and they have different tones, I know something is actually going on. And I'm like, okay, I need to pay attention to this. When we had Rocco, when he was younger, we took him to New York. Millions of people. He was on the subway, buses, boom, everything. And he only went off on 2 people. We had a couple of old fashions one night, was walking around. It's probably 12:30, whatever. And this homeless dude walked by us, and we saw him. We're not paying attention to him, but like, we saw him. He did something that Rocco didn't like. Rocco growled, did a little 180 spin, looked right at him. I just turned around and said, hey, whatever you just did, don't do that no more. And we just walked off. And I don't know what the guy did. Rocco felt something on him, and I trusted that. I'm like, hey, if he's acting like this, there's something wrong with this particular person. So I trust someone who doesn't like a human before I trust a human who doesn't like a dog.
Facts. The day in the life of a guy like you, it's a 2-pronged question. So a day in the life as a dog trainer, what does that look like? But you also do a lot of content creation. Basically, people just see you your whole day.
Yeah.
What is that like? What is the days like normally?
I mean, so, you wake up. It depends on what you do the night before. You may wake up at 6:30. You may wake up at 9:30.
I see you got a little hand. I see something like that hand dog over there.
Little whiskey. So, I mean, it just depends on when you wake up. But, first thing you got to do is take care of the dogs. So even if you had night, went out, had some fun, you still got to wake up and take care of the dogs. And, ideally, you don't have to wake up cleaning any pee out of the kennels or anything like that, but let the dogs out, let them get settled. And then depending on the schedule of the day, so like on Tuesdays and Thursdays now, I've been going out to this rescue and spending time working with them, helping the rescue dogs, helping their staff start learning how to read dogs so they can get these dogs adopted out and not return so often. Because a lot of times they're not putting structure on these dogs. So when they get to new homes, those people aren't putting structure, and now they're having issues, and then the dogs end up getting returned back. So we're helping build their confidence on how to handle things like that. So depending on the day, I may have to go out there and do that, or I may have obedience lessons, and then we do bite work. We may have to do some bite work or something on Fridays and Saturdays. But take care of the dogs. Make sure you take care of yourself. If my kids got something that they got to do, we incorporate that in. And the content side of it, it's life. So, I mean, when we're working with the dogs, you just prop up a camera. I have to work with these dogs anyways. I have to go on a walk with these dogs anyways. So we might as well just put a camera on and record it. And it sucks and it's tedious. And I wish I did more of like the day in the life. You set the camera up, getting out of bed, all of that stuff. But I've always felt like that was it's cliche because it's not real. Like, that's not how you actually wake up. But
right.
For content purposes, and it would be good if we started showing some stuff like that. But I'm also low key a private person. Like, I don't like people seeing a lot of things about my life. So it's it's cool finding the balance of it where you're sharing your life with people, but you still have to have your private side as well.
That's right. Well, I gotta give you a lot of credit, you because I see you on Trevor's World Pet Health.
Man, that
And,
boy.
yeah, I gotta give that dude a lot of credit for first off poise. He got poise, like he blocks out the world. He can work a room. Might be the baddest guy on his feet when it comes to this dog content, and just if I put it this way, if I needed something, if I needed a representative and I wanted to come out of deal with a deal out of all the dog people, I probably have to send him in there for me.
Oh, yeah. and there ain't nothing wrong with that. When we go up there and I do some content with him, he's like, Stan, sometimes you don't talk the best, so all you do is work the dog. That's what you do. So just let me run my mouth. I was like, oh shit, this is easy.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. And then chime in every so often. Hey, this is what I would do. Go back to doing it. Like, and having somebody like that on your side, like you said, it's a superpower. I mean, it's handy for sure.
Right. And then we was talking a little bit about content creation. Being that we guys, instead of me and you both, we kind of like the same way. We don't love the camera, but it's just something we do, and millions of people find value in what we do. Right?
Mm-hmm.
What would be your advice to anybody on the that does content creation for their mental comments that you might not like? How do you deal with all that good stuff? Look at that smile.
Hey, I mean, the comment section is not where you're going to get your bread from. So the comment section, you can engage in it, but don't allow it to be a be all end all. And that means when people are saying, oh, you're the greatest, you're the GOAT, blah, 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 you don't let that shit go to your head either.
No.
If you allow that to go to your head when they say, oh, you piece of shit, you don't know this, da, 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 that's going to affect you as well. So you got to stay neutral to the comments. So I do appreciate everybody that comments on the videos. And before, like, I'd get frustrated and all upset. Like, I'm like, what? Like, these people, they probably would never say this stuff in actual person.
Yeah.
I know my dogs are taken care of. Like, people, you're a dog fighter. I'm like, yeah, I have an Australian Shepherd. How am I?
Yeah, somebody called me a dog fighter. Yeah,
I have an Australian Shepherd, a Dalmatian. Yep.
Yeah.
A dog fighter. Like, yeah.
But
you can't allow the comments to change how you view yourself. And you have to make sure that you have, a good self-confidence level before you're trying to get into the content world, because it is hard. It is harsh. I mean, and if you allow those people, and if they see that they can get to you and bother you, they're going to keep going.
Boy, they're going to get you.
Going. Yeah. So I entertain the comments like when I have time. If I'm like, I have time today, I'm going to entertain this comment real quick. When I get called Michael Vick, I just reply back, bro, I don't even play football. And they don't have nothing to say after that.
Right.
They don't have anything to say. You're like, well, damn, I thought he was going to get this person mad. Like, no, I'm going to joke around with you. Like, no, I wish I was Michael Vick. Like, I'm got some bread. You have to you have to let it roll off your back.
You do.
It's the same thing with the positive comments as well. Like, I do appreciate them when people are saying that, oh, you're the GOAT, you're great. I appreciate it. I know I still got more work to do, and we're going to keep doing it so we can keep elevating the game. And my thing with the dog world is I just want to leave it better than I found it. I mean, I'm not sure how long you've been in the dog world, but it's a dirty place. It's bad, man.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Man, bro, give your dog the best start possible. We offer proven tools, products, and supplements backed by our real world experience and our passion for healthy dogs. If I tell some of the stuff I experienced in just podcasting, I have to be very shut off, but open at the same time. I know it's weird. Mm-hmm. You got to be able to decipher from a bad guy from a good guy really quick. Now, the superpower I have is people that love dogs, that's been in dogs a while, that's very experienced, that would critique me privately or tell me things to be better. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with ever being critiqued, but you should always listen to your critic. Then you had the other side who either try to throw you off or trying to destroy another person or want you to bite on something, and you cannot be a follower in this game. You cannot last as long as I have podcasting by taking in everything somebody tell you, because it's a lot of gossip and it's a lot of pit maneuvering and people trying to throw you off. So you got to be wise as a serpent.
And they'll tell you stuff to hurt your dog. Like,
yeah,
I've gotten advice and I'm like, no, that's dumb. Like, why would I do that with my dog? But I'm like, oh, and then, you know, hindsight being 2020, these people didn't really fuck with me. So it's like, oh, they wanted me to do something so my dog wasn't this. And that's why, like, I'm real skeptical about who I do stuff with now, because a lot of people want you to fail. A lot of people want to showcase, well, hey, this dog isn't as good as he said. Like, one, you're never going to hear out of my mouth that I got the best dogs in the world. Will I put my dog up against anybody, any day? Yeah,
I'm going to try. Yeah,
you know, we will. If you don't win, you're going to be like, hey, that's a damn good dog, bro. Like,
right.
Yeah. So, but you're never going to hear me say that. And people want to like try to poke holes and everything. Like Boots video. Well, he doesn't have a full mouth bite the whole time. Okay, cool. He is a dog that literally was genetically bred not to have full mouth bites. It took me 8 months to get him to bite and hold on to something. So the fact that he is even in the pocket and he leaves bruises on people, he's doing way more than he should. Is he a Mao? Is he going to be knocked down power? No, he's not. But he's a dog who's going to give everything he has. And if you don't have no suit on, you are going to know he was there. And all that matters. Like, I don't care what the dog looks like. He may not be a dog you can slam against a wall or roll over or do all of this stuff. I've watched a lot of bite videos. Nobody's ever slamming dogs against the wall on a live bite. I've never seen nobody roll over on a dog in a live bite. When they get bit, they go to the ground and they ask that dog to get off of them.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I mean, yeah, he may not do all of the sports stuff that, you know, it sees the highlights or whatever, but Boot is an exceptional dog.
Yeah, sir. I got 100%. Just in general, I don't know how much you intake because you're busy, but if you do intake some things or see things in real life, what are maybe some of the most common mistakes you see new trainers making?
Overpromising.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's one of the main things. Like, when I'm talking to people, I say, hey, I don't perform miracles. I'm going to make your dog better. And if your dog can only be a 6, I'm going to make your dog the best 6 that it can be. But if it has the potential to be a 10, I can make your dog a 10 because I have the skills. But if your dog doesn't have it, I can't make your dog be something that it's not. And then, well, this other trainer said this. Okay, well, go to that trainer then. Like, if they can't, like, go to them. But I'm not going to say that I can't do this because we're probably not going to get there. So a lot of trainers, they overpromise, and then they don't have their own style. They don't have their own flavor. They watch somebody else or pay for somebody else's course, and then they try to take the same thing that this person was saying and make it make sense to somebody else. And it's like, well, you got it watered down version. So now you're watering it down to this person, and you really don't know the whys behind it. You just know that it should be this way. And I think people think they don't have their own flavor. And one thing that I think I'm not as popular in the circles as I would be because I don't care. I just want to have my own lane. I'm going to do it kind of my way. Yeah, there's better ways to do things. There's, you know, techniques and stuff that I probably could use. I'm not an e-collar guy, so I get a lot of hate for that. But it's like, I don't want to ever have to rely on a tool. I don't ever want to have to rely on one particular thing to get my dog to listen, because when shit hits the fan, you're not going to have the collar on. You're not going to have the leash. You're not going to have this. You're not going to have everything. Be prepared for it. It's going to be the kid left the front door open. Your dog runs out the door. If my dog don't got a collar on.
It sounds like you don't want anything between you and that dog. Yeah. Okay. Right. I
mean, and that's it, because the relationship that you have with the dog, they know if you rock with them or not. And I've seen some very highly trained dogs without a collar. They don't know sit no more. They don't know the basics of the basics. We got casted her this show where they were playing frisbee, and come to find out, we're playing with all professional frisbee folks, national champions, where they can throw a disc 100 yards 10 out of 10 times, and me and Rocco are there like, all right, we may get 1 out of 10. So, but we were doing some B-roll stuff where they're getting some videos and stuff, and this guy had this whippet, and whippet was cold. He could bounce off his chest, doing backflips, catching the frisbee. And the people were like, hey, can you take the long line off of the dog, so we can get some good photos? And you can tell he did not want to take that long.
Yeah.
But he did. And you know what that dog did? Pew! And we gone for about 10 minutes. They were trying to catch that dog.
Yeah.
And, we had Rocco out there, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot something in my bag. Put him in a downstay. There's other dogs and stuff walking around them. They're getting videos. I walk back over there, come over. I'm like, man, you weren't worried that he wasn't going to go? I said, no, I told him down. He knew what he was supposed to be doing. So the line of communication that you have with your dog matters. And yes, if you're doing sports, if you're doing those kind of things, the e-collar does help, because you have to train. I get it. But everyday pet people, I don't think they should be relying on e-collars. And a lot of trainers, they're telling people things that really aren't true. Your dog is off-leash trained. It's not off-leash trained. It's e-collar trained. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But the message has to be the truth. And if your people think, oh, my dog can be off-leash, they're actually going to take their dog off-leash without the collar on. And then now they're going to have a problem. And then the trainer, well, did you have the collar on? Like, that's why the dog did listen. It's like, well, you told me my dog should be listening. And I mean, you've seen Boot work. I've put a prong collar on him maybe 5 times, and that's just to polish something up when I know he's going to be in super drive when we're doing some bite work. But 99.9% of the time, he's got a flat collar on, and I probably don't even have a leash. Like right now, I don't have no leash with me. I can get him to do anything that we want because of the relationship. And yes, it takes more time. It takes more energy. It takes more effort to get it. But I'm going to have the time with my dog. I'm going to have my dog for hopefully 15 years. So I don't care if it takes me 3 years to get him to a point where I can trust him. I don't mind spending the time. I'm not in it to be quick. I'm not in it to be fast. So
it's a lifetime. Yeah, it's a lifetime commitment. You train a lot of dogs, right? I'm sure for families. How much time do you tell people on average, say, spend this amount of time, at least a day on your dog? If you do that.
You were breaking up a little bit, but I think you said, how much time do I tell people to spend with their dog?
Yeah, say for a working family, or how do you incorporate keeping the dog sharp? I'll put it that way. For a busy, for a family.
Yeah, mealtime.
Mealtime. Okay. All right.
I say mealtime, make them work for their meal. So you're going to feed your dog at least once, twice a day. So that means you can get at least 1 to 2 training sessions in. And I'm not saying you have to spend 30 minutes or an hour working with your dog, 3 or 4 good reps. Dogs are born knowing how to do everything we want them to do. They know how to sit, they know how to stand, they know how to lay, they know how to come, jump, X, Y, and Z. All we're doing as a human is showing them a time and a place to do those things. So if you can get those positive reps where the dog does it right, you're going to be way more ahead than trying to do something for 30 minutes and now the dog doesn't really enjoy it. So I tell them reps over time. And if the dog is doing it right, you end on a good note and then try to progress it later on.
Right. Bro, you got a nice website here. Do you do courses?
Man, I got to start doing more of the courses. I got a recall course and then a healing course that we did with Nick White, but I got to start making more stuff like that for the online part because we do have people that are out of state, others, countries and things like that want to work with us. It's just trying to time, man. Trying to set it all up. It just gets hard, especially, I'm a one-man operation.
That's right.
I got some people assisting with some content, things like that, but 99% of the time, like I'm working the dogs, I'm cleaning the kennels, things like that. Just because it's hard to find people that you can trust.
That's right.
And
that's right.
I just rather do it myself than to be worried about somebody having.
Right.
Where we're at now in this dog world, it's like I'm okay with doing it by myself. I don't need the help and the support, and I have the help and the
Boy.
support when I
Yeah.
need it. So like when we
Yeah.
go down in Florida, my buddy John there, he's good people. We go down there, no matter, I can hit him up, be like, hey, I'm in town. He's like, pull up. I got a lesson, but I'll be done at this time. And he's a good dude. He has a dog named Maker, probably one of the best trained dogs I've ever seen, border collie, and he actually inspired me to get a boot. I wanted a dog that was pretty and could still work. And I said, well, John got a border collie to do it. I didn't want to copy him and get a border collie, so I went Australian Shepherd,
Yeah.
and Boot's done it. So it's
up.
like I've never had everybody like me, but the right people have always, rocked with us, and I think that's just kind of, it's better that way.
Yeah, you find good people, you hold on to them, man, in this industry, because it's pretty it's a nasty industry, and real dog people know what you're talking about when it comes to that. You gotta just be careful. I don't work with people I don't like. I just don't do it. I mean, mingling and being fake. Well, I mean, what's the point? If we don't rock together, we just move along. Man. That's just too much. It's like it ain't like a 9 to 5 where you gotta work with people you don't necessarily align with. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
and that's the thing that I like about having my own business. When I was at Butch's, like if I didn't like the person, I still had to deal with it. Like now, if I get a bad feeling, a bad vibe, I don't like something, I just don't reply back. Like I don't have to deal with this person. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, exactly.
If I don't want to, I'm like, nope, not going to do that. My peace is way more important than me making a couple extra. It's like, nope, peace.
Hey, peace in more than one definition, because peace is a really good thing to have. Man, I'm checking here. I'm making sure I got all my people's questions out the way, and so let me see here. I don't think dog training is boring. Maybe some people think some of the fundamental stuff, when you starting to lure your puppies, and they might find that redundant. But why is it important never to skip steps? Or let me ask you this way. Sorry. Can you see a dog that has you could tell, like, they didn't do this with that dog. They didn't do this with that dog. They telling me they did it with the dog, but I could see there was steps in developing this dog. Can you pick up on that?
Oh, yeah. And it's funny you say that. My lesson today, I told the people, I said, you guys have actually been working with your dog, and I can see that. And some people would say, oh, I've done this, and this with your dog. Okay, if you've done all of that, let's try this. They're like, well, oh, you didn't do all of those other things, because the dog doesn't lie. Right. And you're going to see the people that spent the time and took the step. And there are some dogs you can skip steps with, but you may have to pay for it on the back end. Like with Boot, I skipped a couple of steps with like really polishing his heel. He forges, and I could have done a lot more stuff back in the day, but I would have capped his drive, and he would have not probably been as eager to do other things. So I'm like, yeah, I know I have to work on things now, but it was a choice that I decided to make. And that's the thing. If you are going to skip steps, you realize that you may have to pay for it and spend more time later on if you ever come into that issue. But yeah, you can definitely tell people that done the homework in between the sessions and the ones that didn't. Right.
Stan, man, you done came a long way real fast, bro. When I told some people I was going to be interviewing you, everybody just had so much positive things to say about you. And we need more people like you, you know what I'm saying, that stand on what they say and stand on what they do. I don't have any more questions for you, but if there was a last word you could leave for the audience, pet families, dog people from all over the world, what would be one important thing you could leave with my audience?
It would just be take your time. Don't get in a rush. Take your time. don't compare your dog to somebody else that you're seeing online. Definitely don't do that, because a lot of people are doctoring a lot of videos. You don't know how many times the dog saw this scenario, the session, and to say, oh, this is the first time, like, it's probably not the first time. So don't compare your dog to what somebody else is doing, and make your dog the best dog for your lifestyle. And that's, I think, some of the most important advice, because if you have an active lifestyle, you need an active dog. If you have more of a lazy lifestyle, you need more of a lazy dog. So make your dog for your lifestyle, and just take your time. And that's the most important thing, is just the time.
Man,
Everybody
hey,
wants
thank you
stuff
for saying that,
quick,
because
and
I was,
I want my dog at 6 months. Nope.
yeah. Hey, thanks for saying that, because I didn't ask you a question about the active dog and the family and things like that. So I appreciate it. But anyway, bro, I told you I wasn't going to hold you long, and I appreciate your time.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you got some more questions, all I got to do is eat some dinner. So,
Okay.
let me
Let me
know.
see.
We can
Yeah,
wrap it up,
okay.
or we can.
Well, hold on. Let me ask one more question. What is in your future plans? I mean, you got, like you said, you got a monster with you. You ride with World Pet Health. You know what I'm saying? What is there? What do you see you guys in the next 3 to 5 years?
Man, it's doing some crazy shit for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've been doing stuff. I've invested in some of the stuff that they're doing with the whiskey, so they're
Yeah.
continuing to build the whiskey page out. Of
Uh-huh.
course, the dogs are always going to be a part of everything that we're doing, but we're just going to start continuing to have more fun. And that's one thing me and Trev talk about a lot. We're like, man, over the last 5 years, we've started to see people who start having more fun with their dogs. They're going out to creeks, they're going out to parks, they're trying to have more experiences with their dogs. And we're just going to continue to show what that looks like. And we show the failures, we show when the dogs fail, and we show when the dogs succeed, because that's how it actually is. And I think people get discouraged because they're thinking, oh, my dog didn't do it the very first time, or he didn't this. And it's like, cool, build it up. And then when your dog actually does accomplish that goal, you're going to feel a whole lot better about yourself. But I think a lot more truth needs to be put out in the dog world. And that's one thing, over the next 3 to 5 years, we're going to keep sharing the truth, sharing our experiences, and continue to help people live better with their dog. That's going to be the main thing. But definitely investing in, if Trev has an idea, I'm like, well, I got some extra bread, I'm going to invest in this, because I mean, it's hard. Like, he's a very unique character, but when he says he's going to do something, he's going to go do it, and he's going to put the time and the effort. And he's somebody that you would want to bet on. And he's helped me out a lot. He's built my confidence about being on the camera, and my confidence about just doing my own thing with the dogs. Because he would tell me, like, one of the best things he ever told me was, Stan, get out of your own way. Like, you are your hardest critic. You don't think you're as good because, and he's like, why don't you think it? And it's like, well, damn, I don't know why I don't think that I'm actually good at this. And it's me just being in my own way. So you get people like that around you that are going to push you. And he's not a nice person. Like, I mean, he's not somebody that's going to sugarcoat anything to you. If you're fucking up, he's going to tell you. And sometimes it's a little nicer than others, but I've been an athlete my whole life. So coaches talking to me, kind of crazy was never like, it didn't bother me, because like, oh, if the coach is saying that I'm fucking up, okay, cool. That means I could do better. And I know I can do that.
Yeah.
Trevor,
I absolutely understand what you mean. Like, people confuse me. People confuse me as a nice guy. I'm not a nice guy. I'm just friendly. I mean, I'm not even friendly. I'm just helpful. But I'm not like over friendly. I don't extend myself to fit in. You know what I mean? So yeah, I understand we real people, and we should, like, the title of who you are. Iron Sharp K9, damn it. Yes, sir.
And even going back to that, you have to be iron in that equation as well. So people are like, well, man, this person doesn't want to help me out. It's like, well, if they help you out, they're actually going to dull their blade, because you're wood and they're chopping. You're not helping. You're not sharpening them. And I get a lot of opportunities. I get a lot of situations and things. But when I am in those, I'm good. I elevate these things, so people want to do more stuff. You ain't never be like, well, Stan was the weak link that day. Like, no, that ain't never gonna happen. So you have to be good at what you're doing. You have to iron yourself to get around people that are going to want to sharpen you. So that's the thing. If people don't want to assist what you guys are doing, and like, you have to change yourself and you have to make yourself better. And that's one thing that I did 10 years ago when I was going through all my lowest points. I just said, hey, I'm just going to make myself better. I started pushing myself, doing the David Goggins thing. And along the way, you start meeting other people who are going to continue to build you up, continue to put you in situations where you can showcase your skills. But you have to have the skills to be put in those situations.
Yes,
Top dog. If I wasn't good, me being on national TV would have only showcased that I wasn't good. And I mean, they said there was like 15,000 dog submissions, and we were one of the ones that got picked. And not even just one of the ones that we got picked. We were a highlight of a lot of stuff. We were a lot of the demos because they could see that we were having fun with our dog. And, you know, black guy, cowboy boots, pit bull, it was good for marketing.
Hell yeah. Shit, yeah, you're right.
Hey, it is what it is. You know, I don't mind.
Yeah. Let me ask you this.
You gotta make sure you are sharpened.
Right. I'm sorry. I think we got a little bit of lag, but let me ask you this one here. What are some of the most impressive dogs you have ever saw? If you got a top 3 to 5.
Are we saying breeds or
no? Just dogs you may have experienced, not specific breeds. Just dogs you ran into over time, or you know.
So I mean, one of my all-time favorite dogs that I've ever worked was a dog named Berner, and he was a Danish military dog. This dog was a gangster. He was probably about a 75, 80-pound Mal, big Mal. He was great on detection. He was great in bite work. But at the same time, when we were done and we went to the guy's house, he sat and he was chilling at the house. And he said it just took time. So that was one of the dogs that I learned a lot from. He had clean outs, bit hard, all of those things. Maker Border Collie is probably another one that I would say is definitely at the top of my list. He is a dog that legit has 1,000 commands. And when people say, "Oh, my dog knows 1,000," like, no, this dog, he tells them R. Kelly and he goes and fake pees on somebody.
What?
And I'm like, how do you even teach him to fake pee on somebody? He will hike his leg on it. And then I've never seen him put a prong collar on this dog. I've never seen him put an E. He used to train dolphins. So he learned to communicate with animals. And he's like, I spent 10,000 sessions with this dog. And he said he had a book. He said, you want to see it? I said, no, John, I can tell that you actually spent 10,000 sessions with this dog because of everything that you can get this dog to do. And then you can transfer it over to kids and he still performs the same way. So that's 2. Let me think. And then I'm gonna say Rocco. I mean, I'm gonna put my dog out there. Like, Rocco was, you know, he just wanted to. I would ask him to do something. He'd try. If he couldn't do it, I would help him out. Then he's like, "Oh, this is what you want? I can do better than that." And he was a dog that he would always give me everything he had, no matter what. He hates water. But when we went on Top Dog, he went right in there with me because he knows if I'm asking him to go, he's going to do it with me. So I put Rocco up there in my top 3 dogs because I learned a lot from him. I think he motivated some people as well to try things with their dog. I mean, he was a $150 dog. So I did no genetics, no pedigree, no nothing. It was just relationship with the dog that got him to do everything that he did. And I mean, he's 12 years old now. He's still rocking. He's slowing down a little bit, so it's a little hard some days. I'd be looking like, man, my dog he's not as good as he was, but you know, he still has the heart. And I know he would lay the life on the line if he had to, and he would be happy about it. So
okay, yeah, cool. All right. The worst thing you could have did was say, well, Joe, you could ask a few more questions. Because here we go. So like now we finna stand in the fire like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So I'm gonna ask you about some I'm gonna ask you about some breeds, right? What are your thoughts? Because it's kind of more my territory. What are your thoughts on dominant breeds like the Pressa, the Cane Corso, Boerboels, and things? What are you seeing out there? No, I'm hearing about a lot of behavior issues, bad breeding, different things. But you, the doctor, they come to you.
Mhm.
What you see in general out there?
Yeah. So I think the main thing is they expect these dogs to be finished at 6, 7 months or even a year. And when you're getting a Corso, when you're getting Boer Mastiffs, those larger dogs, they're not even mentally mature until they're like 3. So you expecting this dog to have everything at a year old, and they're putting way more pressure on the dog than it needs. That dog is going to act out. And it's, I always call it, you have to have a come to Jesus meeting with these dogs. And if they start learning that they could get away with something, they will, and then you will have those behavioral issues. So like I get a lot of Corsos. People bring me a lot of Corsos. I like them, but I'll never own a Corso. Too big of a dog for me. But I tell the people it takes time. And I'm not saying, like, I got a dog named Sig. I don't know if you've seen the blue. He's a big blue boy.
Yeah,
He was probably 85 pounds. Yeah, he was 85 pounds at like 6 months old. But at the same time, he's just a big goofball. And if you're being super hard on this dog and expecting him to be perfect, one, it's going to hurt everything that you're trying to do, build his confidence up. And eventually he's going to test you. He's like, are you really mean everything that you say that it is? So allowing him to grow up has been really cool. And the owner is very understanding. I told him, I'm like, hey, what you want from this dog is going to take at least a year. And, I'll have him for a couple months. He'll go home. We'll work on this. We'll do this. But it's not going to be a one and done with this dog. And even then, every time you take him to a new situation, you're going to have to be his backup. You're going to have to let him know that he can do these things. So you have to build a relationship with these bigger dogs. And I don't think people want to take the time that it takes to do that. So I think causes a lot of behavioral issues because they don't have that bond and that boundaries for these dogs. And it doesn't mean you have to be super hard on them, but you just have to be clear about what they can and cannot get away with.
Right. Good point. Do you ever run into an issue of a dog that's like, with these breeds, like mentally, this dog was like, something ain't right. He can't be trained. It might be better if he be put down. You ever run into issues like that? Okay.
Yeah, and it's usually later on. So like if somebody's like, oh, I want to do a board and train, I'm like, okay, cool. How old's the dog? Or what breed you got? They're like, Corso. How old's the dog? A year and a half. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm not doing no board and train with them because they're probably going to have some behavioral issues. And I'm not trying to get bit no more. Like I've been bit on every body part from my foot to my forehead. I'm not trying to get bit no more especially not for no pet obedience. I had this one Corso. He was probably about 7, 8 months. When I met him, he was social. He came up to me and was letting me pet him, but I put him in a crate and I went to get him out the crate. He starts biting and everything. I'm like, all right, well, I'll let you get settled. So I left him in the crate, didn't force him out. Next day, he peed, pooped in the crate. So I'm like, oh, he should definitely want to come out now. Nope, he stayed in there. So I had to get 2 crates, put the other crate at the front of the door or the doors together, get him out of one crate to the other crate because that's the only way he would come out. I had to put on my bite suit to get a pet dog out. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. So I called the lady. I said, hey, I'll refund your money back. Like, I'm not doing this. Well, you just grab him out of the crate. No, I'm not just going to do anything because, one, if he tries to bite me, now I'm going to be wrestling this dog. I don't want to do that. And it's not worth what you're paying me to do it. So I don't take Corsos over a year old unless I've been working with them. Right. But the behavioral issue, it's caused by the owner. I mean, they don't have those boundaries set and they don't mean what they say to the dog. And the dogs are like, well, you told me no, but nothing happened behind it. So it doesn't mean anything. And then I growled at you one time and I got what I wanted. So they start learning that behavior is okay. And then by the time they bring them to training, now they have an issue. And now you're going to have to be having a wrestling match with these dogs. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. And well, you can charge more for aggressive. I'm like, yeah, but if I get bit, it's a $2,000 hospital bill. Like, and depending on where I get bit, I may not be able to use my hand anymore. And now that's a way more expensive charge than the extra $1,000 that I could have charged this person because they have an aggressive dog. Like, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point, man. Good point.
No,
Man,
I don't have nothing to prove.
Yeah. Yeah. I think people need to do more. I met a young lady, I interviewed her, right? And she does consultations for people on picking the right breed for their lifestyle. And I thought that was cool. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, the Corsos, the Pressas, they are big, impressive dogs and things like that. But you might not just need one. And if you do want one, you got to know the breeder to get it from. You know what I mean? Let me ask you this, and then I'm gonna let you go for real.
If you don't have the right personality,
go ahead.
If you don't have the right personality, you don't need those kind of dogs for sure. Because if they know that they can intimidate you, then they will, and then you're gonna have a problem on your hand, and then somebody can really get hurt by one of these dogs. We've been doing some stuff with this lawyer. And he has the dog bite cases. He has a book of every dog bite case in the state of Texas. So we've been talking to him about different stuff. And a lot of times it's these people that are being neglectful. They're afraid of their own dogs. And then they get put in situations. The case we talked about the other day, a 7-year-old kid got killed by some pit bulls that got out of the backyard and ended up mauling the kid. So it's like, if you are getting these breeds, if you are getting these dogs, it is a responsibility for you to socialize. It is a responsibility for you to keep these dogs safe. And that means you have to expose them to stuff. And you cannot be afraid of your own dog. If you're afraid of your own dog, now that's a problem for every single person that interacts with that dog.
Yeah. Stan, I'm going to ask you one more question, I promise. Who has been the biggest influential people in your life in general, whether it be from dogs or personal?
I mean, definitely my pops is in top on that list. When I first got into dogs, like it's a funny story. So I got my taxes back, right? And I'm like, oh, I got some money. I paid things that I needed to pay. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go train my dog. And he's like, boy, you could spend that money on this, and this, or you could save it. And blah. I'm like, Dad, look, this is what I'm going to go do. Like, you can be mad at me. I'm going to spend this money on training Rocco. And we legit didn't talk for about a month. Like he, right. Me and him have similar personalities. We just let stuff go a little bit. So we just didn't talk for like a month. And there was a competition in Arkansas, and hindsight being 2020, I had no reason being there, no reason being at this competition. Rocco was not ready, but I'm like, shit, y'all going? I'm going too, my dog. And the car I had at the time could not make the road trip to Arkansas safely. It probably could have made it, but it would have been, a prayer and a hope to get there. And I told my dad, I'm like, well, Arkansas. He's like, you know what? When are you going? I'm like, I need to be there at this time. All right, we're going to leave at this time and this time. So he went out there, very first competition, and he was supported. You could hear him cheering on the camera. So it's pretty cool. And then like fast forward to going on Top Dog, it was a couple years later. I called him. I'm like, hey, we got to go to Cali. He's like, let's drive out there. I'll take off work and come out there. So he's always been a real big influence and supporter for me. He's always just, he's very militant. That's his military. So he's showed me a lot growing up. I got exposed to overseas, different things like that. So it helped me in life because I can talk to anybody. I can talk to a janitor. I can talk to a CEO, and people are people to me. And it's just because of the experiences that, my pop gave me growing up. And like you said, you got to stand on something. If you give somebody your word, if you say you're going to do something, do it. And if you can't, communicate what's going on, like communicate to the people what's going on. So my pops is definitely one of the biggest supporters and investors in, my business. Like he's done a lot for me to get me to the point that I am at now. And I'm probably wouldn't be here if I didn't have my pops. So he's definitely probably one of the most influential people who helped me get to where I am in the dog world.
Absolutely. Well, that's great, man. Bro, like I say, man, I thank you for coming. I enjoyed this interview. Easy to talk to. I know a lot of people gonna get a lot out of this interview. So me and the NWA family, thank you kindly.
Yeah, man. And then I think one of the people that do our content, they said, I told them we are going to be doing this. They said, yeah, people have been commenting that you guys needed to been doing this a long time ago. So people have been trying to get us in touch. But it's always, I think, stuff happens when it needs to. It's all about timing. So when I think your guy, Doug. Was it
Doug? No, that's the co-producer. What's the other guy name? Doug, he's a co-producer.
So would you want to do this? I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm all for it. And then I get a lot of Corso, inquiries. So I'm gonna start, promoting.
I appreciate that. You gave me a big one, and they follow me. I appreciate that. David and Tamla, man.
Did he ever reach out to?
They follow me. No, he didn't.
Did he reach out?
He didn't reach out because he wanted a male. So I didn't have that. But yeah, he definitely followed. Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, I don't think he's in a rush. So you're next, literally.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll let you know. But yeah, hit me up. I don't personally know him. I have a problem, and that's one thing. Iron sharpens iron. Like, this person needs it. I don't have it, but this person does. So go talk to them.
Absolutely. All right, man. Well, thank you for your time, brother. I appreciate you. Many blessings to you.
Cool, man. We got to do another one of these.
We can do it. Yeah, for sure. All right.
Let's make it happen.
Yes, sir.
All right, take care.
Step into the realm of canine wisdom with our podcast, NWA Cane Corsos, where we interview dog men and women from around the globe. Discover their talents and insights on breeding, training, nutrition, and the rich history of dogs. Tune in to the most underrated yet influential dog podcast on social media. Your journey into the dog world starts here.